Okay, so I've done some adjustments since the last video, and I've figured out just how to constrain them by proportions so you could like screw around with this. So basically what you want to do is you want to just grab a texture, any texture, doesn't matter. I use this one. You want to set the pixel inset 0, 0, but you want to set the width and height to 125. Then you want to attach all these scripts to it, and you want to put it as a touchpad. So now when I hit it, you see when it lights up when you hit it? So that's just built into the script. Okay, so now we're going to start on actually coding our script to actually make the player move. So before we do that, we want to add... oh, I forgot where to add it once again. God damn it. First person controls, my pre-made ones. That's right, you attach rotation. Okay, got it. You want to attach a rotation constraint to the camera. So you want to go scripts, rotation constraint, and say make it minimum -15, maximum 15. Say. So that when you actually look at the player, you're not going to be able to flip around the camera 360 and look under yourself or above yourself or like keep going round and round and round. Okay, so we're going to start on this script. Okay, first we want to define, because we require a character controller for this to function properly. So we want to go at, which will grab the script. Go script require component, and then open your bracket, put character controller, and then close it. This will basically say if you don't have this component attached to it, it'll give you an error saying please attach the character controller to this, or requires character controller to execute script. So, we want to define lots and lots and lots and lots of variables. So, basically you have three types of basic variables. So you have a normal variable, you have a public variable, which is accessed by all other scripts, and you have a private variable, which is only be able to access by this script. So first off, we just want to do the basic variables. So we want to define two variables to start, and we want to define a move touchpad, which will be this touchpad here. We will define it as a joystick, because that's what these are based on. I gotta rename this. Yes, because I haven't finished the script, that's why I'm getting there. Not hoy. Sticks. Okay, you see how this has a joystick? That's a component that is included in Unity. So we also want to define a rotate touch pad, which will also be a joystick. So, okay, we're going to go for some camera variables. So you want a variable, camera pivot, should be a transform. This will basically define the angle of your camera at which it starts at. So this is used for the rotation of the camera. So you can add a comment by using double slash, goes for rotation of camera. I don't. Some people don't close it, but I like to close it off so I know where the comment ends. Okay, so these will be for movement. Just for this first tutorial, I'm just going to be showing you how to make a basic, or not basic, but how to move around in 3D space and Unity 3D on your phone. And then later on I'll be going into AI, shooting, health, and all that stuff. So I want to go, you want to have another 5 variables. 2, 3, 4, 5, and these will be your movement. So you want forward speed, which will be a float, which will equal 4. Now basically you want to put an F behind it, because that defines the numbers of float. So the float is basically the same as an integer, except I'm pretty sure floats can go to decimal points, but integers can't. Pretty sure that's how it works. So now you want a backward speed, which will be a float, which equals 1F. So you want a side step speed, which will be a float, which will equal 1F. Jump speed, which will be a float, which equals 8F. And then last one for movement, at least for now. Actually there's others, but these are just the basic ones you need to know about. In air multiplier. Basically this will, it's hard to explain. This will be when you jump and land, it'll basically slow you down, like realistically, so that you don't just can jump and then run off and jump and run off and pick up speed. Oh, why did I do var? Not two variables, single variable. Okay, so you want another one, which will be variable rotation speed, which will be another float, which will equal, oh no, it won't be actually. It'll be a vector 2. Okay, I'll explain vectors. Vectors are basically, this is your 2D space, your 3D space, and I've never used this one, so I don't know what the fuck it is. Vector 2 is on screen. Vector 3 is inside. Okay, basically these joysticks, they're vector 2. This is a vector 3. This space, the player, everything's a vector 3. So you need to call anything 3D as a vector 3, anything 2D, like a graphic, as a vector 2. Since this is going to be rotation speed of a graphic, or of the player, but using the graphic, it's going to be a vector 2. So it's a vector... Okay, basically, I haven't explained this yet, but basically what this is, here, what this here is it's the same as if you've ever used C#. You go person is a boolean which equals whatever. So basically this is the equal sign. So you're defining a variable as a name which will equal this. But you can also have a statement on the end, which vector 3, that's what the vector 2 will represent. This is what this represents, but this is what this represents. So it's confusing, but you get used to it as I go through the tutorials. So rotation speed is a vector 2, which equals another vector 2, but you're defining what the vector 2 is. So it'll be 50 rotation and 25 rotation. Now, you always want to go into Unity and check if you have any errors, but since I've gone over these scripts a million times and made them perfect, basically, it probably won't have any errors until we start getting into the main functions of, all the main functions of this. So yeah. And no, this isn't the default one, this is an edited version of the default one to suit my needs and sensitivity. So I'll just paste in these ones since I'm really fucking lazy today. So you want those three variables. You want a tilt positive y-axis, which is your tilt positive and your tilt negative, and then the minimum of what you can tilt at. Okay, so now we're going to do some private variables. Remember, these can only be used within this script. You can't call it from outside of other scripts. So you want to go this transform will be a transform, not a follow transform. I hate this new. I always press up or down, hit that, equals a transform. You want a private variable. Sorry about the noise in the background, it's just my brother. Say hi, Alex. Or not. Character controller. See, for some weird reason, some of these don't show up because they're not by definition meant to be used in this context. But you can still use them. So you want another private variable, not a car. Private variable. Camera velocity. This will be represented as a vector 3, which will manipulate the velocity of the camera and the player at the same time. So this will inherit from this. So another private variable, velocity. These are all just to make sure the player doesn't go absolutely spastic. When, like, you pick up speed and you jump and you hit something, you won't, like, fly backwards or fly up in the air. You'll just hit it. So, private variable, and this can jump. Okay, I can go into some depth with this. But, okay, basically, later on in the script, we are going to make it so that when the player's in the air, we'll call this to be false. So that the player can't double jump, or triple jump, or quad jump. We want to make it can jump so that if the player is already jumping, he can't get higher up in the air by just spamming the button. So those are all the variables we need for this script. It looks like a lot, but you get into further scripts and damn, there's a shitload more. Okay, so we want to now go into our start function. Oops. Okay, so basically, you want to make this transform equal the get component of the transform. So basically what it's asking is saying that I want this to be equal to the get component of the camera pivot, or of a transform. So you want to go the character equals get component, and quite obviously you want to get the character controller. Okay, so this, just put a comment if you want, this will define the components to speed up loading time in game, because you won't have to be defined. If you put that in there, then it'll be crunching that data every single frame, and you don't want that. You want performance, not, well, for an Android game you want performance. Okay, so you want to move the character to the spawn if one exists. So you want to go variable spawn equals game object dot find player spawn. But since we're not going to be working with player spawns, well, at least not in this part of the tutorial, maybe in advanced parts, then we can, I'd leave it in, just for future reference. So this is the basic if statement. So if the spawn exists, you can go spawn dot exists, you can go spawn equals true.